What's up, guys? Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down 3 tips for wide receivers to read defenses and to become a smarter wide receiver off the line of scrimmage. So we're going to be talking about how to diagnose what type of coverage it is based on the DB's leverage, what kind of look that we are seeing from the DB, and how we can structure our own plan off the line of scrimmage to beat that specific coverage. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it gives you some value and improves that football IQ. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want to get some work with myself and my staff of coaches this offseason, we are coming out to 6 different locations across the country, starting out in Columbus, Ohio. Then we're making our way out to Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, Salt Lake City, Utah, and then Los Angeles, California. So these are going to be 2-day long training camps, 4 hours each day, and spots are limited to only 10 to 12 guys per position group. So it's a small group atmosphere where you guys are actually going to get coached and actually are going to get better over these 2 days, not one of those big camps with 150 kids. So if you guys want some more information on that, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get started with this video. So first thing that we have to do as a wide receiver to read coverages is to understand the leverage of the DB and understand why he is playing a certain way. So we come to this route. The route that Tyreek Hill is going to be running here is a corner route, right? So pre-snap, automatically, I need to distinguish what kind of leverage is he, how close is he, and what kind of leverage is he playing, because that's pretty much tells me everything that I need to know about the release that I'm going to choose, about the move that I'm going to do, and how I'm going to structure my route. So off the line of scrimmage, we see this DB's lined up a little bit outside shaded, right? So if he's outside shade, what does that mean to us as a wide receiver? That means that I am probably not going to be able to take an outside release. The mistake that so many wide receivers make is that they think on outside breaking routes, like an out route, a corner, a comeback, a fade, I guess you could consider that an outside breaking route too, that I got to always take an outside release. That is not the case. Sometimes we take an inside release based on the DB's leverage. So we're going to play this full speed. So this is not the best rep here from Tyreek Hill, but it's a good example of the release. Hit him with a split release, getting that DB to freeze to the outside and working back up into the route and keeping timing with the quarterback. So the reason why reading coverages is important for a wide receiver is because you want to be on the same page as your QB. You don't want to be doing things that are going to screw up the timing of the play, screw up the spacing of the play, because that's going to throw off the quarterback and you're not going to get the ball. So key mistake, guys, what receivers will do is they'll come up, they won't diagnose that this DB's outside shade. They'll just be thinking, okay, I have a corner route. So that means I got to take an outside release, restack, and break off of the route. But this DB's lined up outside shade. What is his sole responsibility? Do not give up the outside. He's going to do whatever it takes to prevent you from getting the outside release. So if you try to just go outside right now, he's going to shuffle with you. He's going to get hands right into your hip pocket and reroute you to the sideline, or squeeze you to the sideline, I should say, so you have no room to run. Or what's going to happen is he's just going to simply shuffle with you and not let you get off the line, which screws up timing with the quarterback. So if you get walled to the sideline, that screws up spacing. You take too long to get off a press, that screws up timing. Those are the 2 things we want to keep with the quarterback off the line. So as a wide receiver, I read this coverage. I see he's outside shade. So I know with my release, I'm probably going to have to take an inside release. But off the line, to get him to freeze, I want to attack his leverage. I want to try to threaten him like I'm going outside to maybe get him to hesitate, maybe get him to move, whatever it is. So that's what Tyreek Hill does. He gives this little split release, maybe a little head fake to the outside. And if I could just get that DB to be flat-footed and get him to hesitate and I get a free inside release, I'm all good. I kept timing with my quarterback and I was able to restack and stay on the line. Now, the reason why Tyreek Hill wasn't open on this is because when he went to the inside here, he took a very, very wide angle. So there's a lot of space between the two of them. So when there's a lot of space between the two of them, I don't care how fast Tyreek Hill is, that makes it easier on this DB to recover, and he's actually not in a bad position to make a play on this ball. But imagine if Tyreek Hill was able to do that exact same thing, but he was able to stay tight. He dipped that shoulder, or maybe he swatted this hand and was able to restack directly over the top. That's a different story. He's going to be wide open because then he could make a move at the top, whatever it is. That's not the main focus, but that is why he took the inside release. A lot of people are always confused. A lot of people can distinguish, oh, he took an inside release on a corner route. Oh, he took an outside release on this route. But why is he doing it? And it's solely based on this DB's leverage, and that's how he's playing you. Okay, so now why would a DB ever be outside leverage? This is another thing you have to think about too. He's probably got safety help, right? Why would he play man coverage outside shade? He has help over the middle. So if you had to run a route like a post route, or you had to run a route like a dig, you probably wouldn't just be like, oh, I see the outside shade, and just go run to the inside. Because if you just go run to the inside, you're running right into his help. And that's kind of what he wants you to do. So you would do the same thing. I'd attack his leverage. I'd try to work him off the platform, and I would be tight to the restack to give my QB a bigger window which will help the spacing of the play. So it's all about spacing and it is all about timing. That's why we have to read coverage as a receiver. So I'm going to play this full speed, and then we're going to talk about another example of a fade route against an inside shade press coverage look. So now this is a route from Deebo Samuel here at the Senior Bowl a few years back when he was coming into the league. And look at this look that he sees here. So he's running a fade route. Kind of outside breaking route like we were talking about. You got inside shade press, maybe not necessarily press, about a couple yards off. But what do you think his game plan should be here? His game plan should be attacking this guy's leverage. Because, again, he's inside shade for what reason? It's kind of the opposite now, right? So he's inside shade. We have this outside route. He does not want to let Deebo cross his face. That is his number one goal. Don't let the receiver get in front of you, because now he does not have any help to the inside. So he's outside shade, he has help. He's inside shade, he doesn't have help. So that can mean a couple different things coverage-wise. If he's outside shade, that could maybe mean cover 2. If he's outside shade, that could mean like cover 1 robber, where he's got help inside. Could be 2-man. But when he's inside shade like this, it's usually like, okay, it's cover 1, it is cover 0, and it's just straight man-to-man coverage. He's on an island pretty much because he wants to force us to the sideline. So what does Deebo do here? Let's play this full speed. He does a great job of attacking, threatening to the inside, just to hold that DB to the inside shade. And he's able, and again, ball was a little bit overthrown, but he's got him by a couple of steps. And the whole goal, again, is to keep timing and to keep spacing. So many wide receivers, what they'll do in this specific case is they're like, oh, well, I got the outside release. He's inside shade. I'm just going to go try to run around him, right? I don't care how fast you are. This DB is expecting that, and that is exactly what he wants you to do. He wants you to just take the free release so he could get right into your hip, force you to that sideline, and then there is no space for that quarterback to throw you open. And again, what are the two most important things? Why do I need to understand coverages? To keep timing and to keep spacing with my QB. So again, off the line, Deebo does a great job of kind of attacking him, closing the distance, and again, threatening to the inside, selling with the hips, selling with the shoulders, actually stepping to the inside, because that DB needs to do whatever possible to not give up the slant. That's how we have to think. We want to attack him where he does not want me to go, right? And in this specific case, there are other cases, and we're going to get into that in the next clip with an off-man look. But when it's press, fellas, and you have a route like that, attack where he doesn't want you to go. If he's outside leverage and you have to go run a route like a post route, attack him outside. He doesn't want you to go outside. Take the free release, but you have to move him or you have to get the DB to hesitate inside so we keep spacing and so I keep timing. Let's play this thing again, full speed. Great job by Deebo attacking that inside shade look. So make sure, fellas, second tip to help you read coverages is make sure we are attacking where he doesn't want me to go. And again, distinguish the leverage, understand why he's playing a certain way. Play this thing again. Great job attacking, great job selling with the slant, and then bursting upfield. Ball's a little bit overthrown, but overall great route there by Deebo. So now, let's talk about this look. So now we're going to talk about a little bit off-man coverage and zone coverage, okay? So how do you distinguish between the two? And so this is the third thing that's going to help you read defenses as a wide receiver. How do you know the difference between off-man? How do you attack off-man? But also, how is that different from zone? So when you see a DB and he's lined up on you and he's got a squared up stance like so and his eyes are on you, that could pretty much tell you that it's off man. And there are some cases where guys will show it and they'll disguise it and it'll look like off man, then they'll turn and bail and their eyes will get inside, especially if you're an outside receiver. Their eyes will get back to the inside on the quarterback. They'll turn their front hip to you and they start pedaling out of there. That's how you know it's zone. But when he's spaced up, he's squared up like this, fellas, hips and shoulders are facing you, his eyes are on you, we want to treat that like it's off man. Okay, so now why would a team play off man? Because they're trying to stop like deeper routes, like a corner route that we showed in the very beginning, an out route. They're trying to stop a fade route. So they're going to play off man to give themselves some cushion. And I think as a receiver, off man should be easy work. I think that if we do the right things as a wide receiver and we sell vertical, we do the right things with my route, I know how to attack the leverage, that should be easy money. So now that's how we know the difference. So now when we have this outside shade guy and he's going to be running a 10-yard speed out. So how would you run a 10-yard speed out against this? So we're going to play at full speed. So you want to think of it just like press, just everything is a little bit deeper. So great job there by that wide receiver attacking the inside shoulder, getting that DB to flip his hips to the fade, selling like a post route, selling a dig route, and getting space. So let's talk about it. Outside shade. Now, his whole goal, not let this wide receiver get outside. But if I have an outside breaking route, there's nothing I can do. I can't change it. I can't change the route mid-play, so I got to work with what I got. But there are ways to attack this specific coverage. So you want to think of it, fellas, like everything's the exact is the exact same, except like as the press look that we saw, except it's just a little bit longer. It's just a little bit deeper of a coverage. So like it would be the same thing. If you had to run a 10-yard out and you had outside shade press, you'd threaten him to the inside, but you'd take the inside or to the outside, you'd take the inside release, DB would run with you and you slip back underneath. Now it's just a little bit deeper. Now we just don't even have to really attack him. I can go straight at his outside or his inside shoulder, try to get him to bail his hips out of there, and then be able to slip back under and catch that route, throw him by, maybe restack if he's a little bit closer. You got to understand, fellas, that the leverage of that DB and off man is no different than when it is press man. Right? No different. It's just he's a little bit deeper. The same concept of what we want to do. It's just a little bit deeper of a coverage. Now think about this. If he was inside shade and he was pressed, what would you do if you had to run out? You'd attack his inside leverage right away off the release, push vertical, then break to the out. If he was inside shade off man, you would attack his leverage, you'd stem him to get him to widen, and then I'd run the out route. It's all based on the DB's leverage. You guys have to understand that. There is no perfect release for one specific route. It's based on the leverage, based on the timing, and the spacing that we are trying to keep on the specific play. So again, what does he do? This DB's outside shade because he has safety help. That's the situation that they are working. So I'm going to go straight at his inside shoulder, attack him there, sell the vertical, hips and shoulders, sell like I'm running a post because this is still man coverage. He's still watching the hips, get him to bail out of there and slip under. That's textbook right there of how you would run an out route versus outside shade. You wouldn't want to attack his leverage. You'd want to attack the inside shoulder, get him to flip those hips so I could slip back underneath. Now, when is this situation, because you hear it a lot, when would I want to attack this leverage? Because if he's outside shade, let's say I had to run like a post. So if he had to run a post against this outside shade, what does he have? He's got safety help or some kind of help. Maybe it's like a linebacker dropping into like a robber situation, but he's got help to the inside. So what a lot of guys will do is they'll see this coverage and they got to run a post route, for example. They'll just go run the post, right? But that guy's going to get right into your hip, squeeze you to his help, and that's a very tiny window for the quarterback, aka screwing up spacing. So that's when you would attack him. You'd angle your stem at him. You'd attack his leverage. You'd threaten him where you don't want him to go. He would widen, and then bam, I could break to the post with a bigger window for my quarterback to operate. So fellas, it's all when you have a route that is away from the leverage, you want to attack the leverage. When you have a route that is to the leverage, you want to attack a shoulder. So like again, if he's inside shade and you had to run a post, you'd want to attack his inside shoulder, get him to flip, run the post. You have a 10-yard out and he's inside shade, you'd attack his leverage. Vice versa for anything versus outside shade. Let's play this again, full speed, fellas. You have to know these different situations. You have to have that football IQ if we want to be successful and we want to be able to play at that next level. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. Always great to hear from you guys. You guys help keep the channel going, so we definitely appreciate it. And again, fellas, we're traveling out to 6 more states across the country. We're coming out to Columbus, Chicago, Dallas, Nashville, Salt Lake City, and Los Angeles, California. 2-day long camps. Check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you out there for 2 whole days, 4 hours each day. I'll see you guys next time.